Welcome back, dear viewers. And in this segment of our program, we are going to talk about a national sports initiative entitled A Bike for Every Citizen. It's an initiative that aims at changing the culture of transportation, promoting fitness and reducing emissions and also saving the environment. And we are joined today by Mr. Wafik Noseir. He's member of the World Congress for Environment, to tell us more about this initiative. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Wafik. Dr. Wafik, to start with, how do you see this initiative and to what extent it is actually a way out to escape the problem of the heavy traffic that we are facing, especially in Cairo?
Good. Before we talk about the initiative, let's talk about the problem. The problem has to be divided into three issues. First is a global problem. We have the global warming. The global warming, which comes from the fossil fuel uses, extra fossil fuel uses, and also from the raising cattle and sheep, and this raises the methane gas. This is a global problem. Egypt is one of the countries that participating in this global problem, although it's with small amounts. More than that, Egypt has two other issues. We have the black clouds problem. The black clouds is especially for Egypt and especially for Cairo in general. Also, we have the health problem. The health problem for the individuals is a great issue for Egypt. So talking about the bikes in general is a very excellent procedure for the Egyptians to first reduce the usage of the vehicle that uses oil and gas, and to promote the health of the individuals. But to talk about this, we have to overview different options for tackling this initiative.
Yes.
The different problems or the different options would be as follows. First, as it is written in the newspaper or in the media in general, a bike for each citizen. This is the title of the initiative. This means that we will provide the individuals with cheap bikes, and the individuals has to use it in general, all over the Egypt, yes. In a general scale. I don't think this will be successful. Let me be honest with that. Why? Before I talk about that, let's discuss previous experience with the Ministry of Environment a few years ago, that they started an initiative like this in a city called Fayoum and Shibinikom, and unfortunately it was not a successful initiative. Why? Because of the infrastructure of the city. We have to first provide the real infrastructures. Bikes has to have a special lanes, special traffic lights, and more than that, people has to be aware of the benefit of using the bikes,
Yes.
not to be insulted in the street by other individuals.
But allow me, sir, to interrupt here, because we do see now many people are using bike. I do believe that the mindset did change than before.
Yeah.
We do see many people are going to work using bike and going to buy stuff using their bikes. And actually, we do have some examples who are coming here to work using their bicycles. So I do see that there are some changes in the mindset now.
Yes, I hope so. So first we'll have to have the mindset changes, and also we have to see the infrastructure, which will take a lot of money and a lot of planning. For new cities, it will be easier. For example, the new capital of Egypt, this will be fantastic. This is not all. As I told you, we have options. By the way, before I discuss the options, let me give you a past history of my life. I was a manager of one of the biggest companies in Egypt.
Yes.
And they provide me, of course, with a fancy car and driver. I used to park my car and go to work by my bike. This more than 20 years ago. Okay? So it was a good example for the employees to see me coming with the bikes and wearing even my suit and coming to work. So all the employees were encouraging me by clapping their hands when I arrived. So this is an example for one individual. But the option to be real for Egypt has to be as follows.
Yes.
Two other options I have in mind. The first one, which I've seen it in all over the world, in all the world that I travel as a member of the World Congress for the Environment, so I use the bike everywhere all over the world. There is what is called the renting bikes. The renting bikes are stations for bikes, and you take the bike by your card, Visa card or whatever, so it will be insured by your credit card, and you take it by hours, and even you can cross between stations and leave it to another station. And so this one thing. The problem of this thing is stealing. Okay, so of course it is insured, but you can it can be stealed, it can be corrupted. People can corrupt it in the street, so it has to be watched and certain items. The other option is to make a restricted areas, like downtown in Cairo, restricted areas. And these areas, cars are not allowed to enter.
Many places in the world are like this, actually.
Yes. How to come to this area? You use a bus or your personal car, but it has to have parkings around. But if you use a bus and you will come to this certain area, you take the bike from there, rented bike, of course. So these two options, in my opinion, are more visible than a bike for each citizen.
Maybe even as a first step.
As a first step. If you want bike for each citizen, then we have to make a lot of preparation.
Maybe in the new cities that are currently built in the new administrative city, in New Mansoura city, in these new cities, maybe the government will make lanes for bikes for the future. In their planning for the cities.
If this is the plan, then I'm with it 100%. You have to have the lanes to make the people comfortable. in going there, not to have accidents. If you have accident, and this accident will be in the media, so people will get shocked, and they will neglect using the bikes by the time. And the bikes will be just sold in the market because, of course, they will have it cheaper than the market price.
Yes. How to support this initiative and how to get ready actually for this initiative, Dr. Wafik?
As I told you, the first thing, we have to make public awareness. Public awareness for all the people that bikes are for your own benefits.
It's also for their health.
Yes, from many aspects. Is it direct benefit, is your health, or indirect benefit because you are helping the country in reducing the use of oil, you are helping the globe in reducing the global warming.
Even traffic as well.
And the traffic, of course. But the traffic, as I told you, there will be special lanes. Otherwise, the traffic will be a mess.
Yes. Dr. Wafik, what about the positive impact on the environment if this initiative is actually successful on the ground?
I believe the most positive impact is the feeling of the individuals that they are participating in preserving our environment.
Yes.
In Egypt and in our planet Earth in general. So this is a very important benefit. Other benefits, as I told you, that we can reduce the pollution of especially the capital Cairo and many other cities. The pollution of fossil fuel are increasing by the increasing of the population. We have a very huge, important problem. The population increase is not just Egypt problem. The population increase in 100 years, we have increased from 1.5 billion to 7.5 billion. So 6 billion
of course.
People increased in 100 years. So it's a very important.
So, sir, how can the government support this initiative, and what is the ministry that will implement this initiative?
First of all, I believe that we should have an international fund for it, because it's a good image for the people abroad to see Egypt are progressing in this intellectual activity. So the government have to get used of this support, international support, and maybe funds. And as I told, they should encourage or make public awareness for the people that it's for their benefits, not just to give you a bike with a cheap price and you will take it and then sell it. Okay, so this has to be taken into consideration.
Has to be, yes, supervised. If they are going to give people the bikes, there should be supervision if they are using it or selling it.
Yes, that's why, as I mentioned earlier, we have to use the other two options, which is renting bikes in stations. So this could be the start for this initiative.
Yes. So finally, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Wafik Noseir, member of the World Congress for Environment. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much, and I hope Egypt will be in a better environment all the time.
Indeed, and with that, our dear viewers, we will go to a short break, and after that, we'll be back to resume our program for today, so stay tuned.